Welcome everybody to the VAIL VRML Season 1 EU pre-show. My name is Nightfire with two E's. I am joined by my co-caster for the evening, Gaijin. Gaijin, how are you doing today? It is a stellar day for EU as we have an exciting best of three this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Looking forward to show off some of the best VAIL in EU.
I mean, we already have been showing it off to some degree, right? We look at how we got here. We've had 11 weeks of regular season gameplay where these teams have battled up against each other week to week, determining their top 7 seeding, determining who is the best of the best in the region. And then we just dove into the postseason last weekend where we started the double elimination bracket for the top 8 squads, and we saw a lot of good matches there, guys, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on how some of those games unfolded. If you didn't tune in last weekend, the top 8 teams went up against each other in a 2-map series where you played 2 maps and then moved on. If the winner went into the losers bracket, the losers actually, was it best of 3s, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might have been best of 3s in that double elimination last weekend.
Yes, they were best of 3s last weekend.
Best of 3s, yeah. I guess to the point, the reason I say it was 2 rounds because every single team won in 2 maps. All the winners won 2-0 against their opponents. Access denied, I think, getting a forfeit win against French Croissant United, and Crimson Claw defeating Access United. So Access United moved on to round 2, and they lost against Crimson Claw 2-0. Bombers went up against Sunset Ravens in the first round yesterday. Sunset Ravens lost. Bombers went up against Max. Bombers lost. So here's how things are working out and unfolding in all of this bracket. We dive into the losers bracket today, and French Croissant United have again forfeited as they dropped out of the tournament last weekend. So Bombers, after losing, will automatically move on. It was going to be Bombers and French Croissant United this afternoon for our first game, but Bombers have automatically advanced. And so the story ends up being around Access Denied, Sunset Raven, and this Bombers team, which we'll watch play tomorrow in a best of 3 against our winner today. And so I want to get your thoughts, guys, and I wonder if you can even remember, how these squads played. But Bombers and Sunset Ravens, I think it was the first match of the double elimination weekend. Your thoughts on how Sunset Ravens performed? Are they going to have any sort of, how do you think they're going to be looking going up into this losers bracket today?
Well, I mean, the matches that were played last week were so one-sided. Sunset Ravens and Access Denied in their respective matches could barely get their foot in the door. They did have a few rounds where they did look very competitive, but in terms of overall consistency and team coordination, their opponents just absolutely outclassed them. So I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more of a competitive match between both of them today. Hopefully we'll see 3 maps, and yeah.
Yeah, that's the real thing here, is that we are only going to be playing 2 maps if that's determines our winner. It's a best of 3, and oftentimes, I guess all season long, we've played all 3 maps out. But when we get down to the tournament stage and when we're eliminating teams, it all comes down to winning the series. And if you win in 2 maps, then you don't even play that 3rd map, and the winner moves on. So Access Denied, Sunset Ravens duking it out here this afternoon. And yeah, I'm on your side here. I think we're going to see a pretty decent back and forth this afternoon. I think we're going to see 2 squads that are going to be relatively close on being matched up. But if we look at match history, we do see Access Denied has a very strong success rate against Sunset Ravens, coming in at ranked 9th there. Access Denied won last time 27-2. So we may see another very one-sided series. We may see a 2-map and done from Access Denied going up against the Sunset Ravens squad. Again, not with that 1-8 record over the course of the regular season, not necessarily supporting them, but the postseason is always what we tune into to catch the dark horses. We get to see who is going to surprise us, and I'm curious to see if Sunset Ravens are going to be that team this afternoon, if they are going to surprise us, because I do think if we're going to go off of match history here, Access Denied very much have the advantage. And so it almost makes me want to look forward even a little bit farther, guys, and into what is going to be the next matchup tomorrow, because we have a best of 3 today, and then we have a best of 3 tomorrow, and that best of 3 tomorrow is going to be Bombers versus the winner of today. And let's just assume it's Access Denied, and maybe we'll talk about it more tomorrow to whoever we get, but do you think that Access Denied are going to have a chance on that match, that restart, so to speak, the rematch, there it is, against Bombers in that losers round?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that could be a very competitive. Excuse me. No, I think that could absolutely be a very competitive game, because honestly, with the smaller size of the EU team pool, we see we see one team on top and another team right behind them, and then it feels like there's everybody else. And as we work our way through the bracket and we're refining the teams that are more coordinated, that have put in more work, I definitely think that between Access Denied and Bombers, we could have a very good match tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, it really will come down then, to your point, into the top 4, if that is the case. First and second, Crimson Claw and Makes, and they are actually going to be playing next weekend. So if you are interested in seeing how those teams are going to duke it out, that semifinals match will be live next weekend. Then we'll have a loser. The loser will go up against the winner of Bombers versus whoever the winner is of today. And then we will have a grand finals where we have the winner of the semifinals versus the winner of the losers bracket. And I mean, at this stage, I'm more confident in the fact that we may see a rematch of the semifinals than anything. To your point, how we are sort of seeing the ladder unfold, and ultimately, a limited team pool at the end of the day on that EU side, and I'm looking forward already to next weekend. But I think we could be in store for some interesting back and forth this afternoon, and at the very least, we'll get to see what Access Denied are going to be bringing to the table, because they haven't really had a chance to showcase anything yet this series, right? They had a forfeit against French Croissant, and like you said, it was a quick 2-0 against Crimson Claw, and especially in a game like VAIL, sometimes the momentum can get away from you. So I'm wondering, depending on maybe if they're well rested, the series, who knows? Maybe we'll see a bit of a better performance from Access Denied throughout the rest of this losers bracket, and that's what we're tuning in here to see this afternoon, how these squads are going to compete. And again, we only have one best of 3 for us for the EU side, but there's a lot more action later today when we dive into the North American round robin for the top 8. We have multiple games going at the same time, only one stream live, but we'll be jumping between games most likely, and at the end of the day, it's 6 maps getting played out over the course of probably 3 to 4 hours. So that starts at 2:30 p.m. We'll jump into the pre-show. We have exclusive NA interviews for some of those teams over there. And so do keep your eyes peeled for more North American action later today, if you only get a taste of the action this afternoon from the EU side. But guys, and we're almost ready to take a quick break and get ourselves ready for the start of this series. And so I want to know, where do you see this going? And maybe I'll even get your predictions farther down the line. But for immediately today, let's just stick with today. Access Denied versus Sunset Ravens. How do you see this unfold?
I do want to give the edge to Access Denied. I don't want to count out Sunset Ravens entirely, because honestly, this is whoever loses this match, that's the end of their season. And some people really show up when they are under that level of pressure. Maybe we'll see that out of Sunset Ravens, but I am giving the edge to Access Denied.
Yep, I think I'm in your favor there too, but like you're saying, it's the dark horse that can surprise us the most sometimes in this postseason. So we'll see what we get out of Sunset Ravens in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes away from us diving in to our only best of 3 for the EU region this afternoon. But like I said, we have more later today with NA starting at 2:30 p.m. PST. So plenty of VAIL action today and tomorrow. Again, another best of 3 starting at the same time here, and then more NA round robin action for Group B there. So a lot of VAIL this weekend. If you haven't subscribed or you weren't planning on tuning in, make sure you follow all of the thumbnails, all the streams. They're all there. It shows you all the times when they're going to go live, and you don't want to miss it. That's it for us here on the pre-show, though. We are going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Map 1 of Access Denied and Sunset Ravens coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Just kicking down all the doors, guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Big Drill is right on top placement. And there's a double kill that comes in from Dozy from Pick the EMP inside. Sweeper trying to shoot in. Oh my god! No! That's 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Big Drill is right on top placement. And there's a double kill that comes in from Dozy from Pick the EMP inside. Sweeper trying to shoot in. Oh my god! No! That's 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just...
welcome back, everybody, to the VRML Season 1 EU Top 8 Single Elimination. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I'm joined by Gaijin, and the reason we're saying it's single elimination is because we're into the losers bracket, Gaijin, and the losers here are eliminated. There's no more chance. There's no more hope. Your season is over, and we've already had one elimination with the Croissants going out early, Bombers advancing on to tomorrow. And we have Access Denied versus Sunset Ravens coming up. How are you feeling? I mean, it's just the start of the weekend, really.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward into getting closer to those grand finals for EU. No, we got a good couple of teams here, and I think we could have a chance for a competitive match today.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we're hoping for. It's up in the air. If you look at match history, it's certainly not inspiring for the Sunset Ravens, as they are 1-8 on the regular season. Access Denied 4-4 in comparison, sitting at that 4th rank on the overall local standings, and Sunset at 9th. So definitely disparity there, and definitely the underdogs going in this afternoon. The last time they played, Access Denied winning handily across all 3 maps, only allowing 2 points from Sunset Ravens. So hopefully Sunset Ravens have done some research, done a little homework, coming in a little more focused. But we are basically just waiting for both teams to get everyone into lobby. And once we do, we will be ready to jump into the start of this series. I am getting info here, guys, in that the first map is going to be on Suna. And so I suppose if there's ever a hope, it's at least Access Denied's worst map and Sunset Ravens middle worst map. I don't know what you want to call it there, but yeah, this is where we could see a decent back and forth.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm also very excited to see Suna because last weekend we saw Suna once out of so many matches, like between the NA Champions Cup or Challengers Cup and the other matches for the EU playoffs. It was so much Miru, so much Kitty. I'm glad we're getting to see a start on Suna. And like you said, Sunset Ravens have done all right on Suna, and it's Access Denied's worst map. If I'm Access Denied, I'm not going to try and let that through, but maybe they're confident. It is a bit of a map where you can absolutely steal the momentum if you can easily win your aim duels. It's harder to take a tactical advantage on that map, in my opinion. So who knows? We could potentially see something out of Sunset Ravens here.
Now, guys, and I haven't had a real chance to ask someone that is actively playing and competitive within the game, because I myself don't have the time, or else I'd be playing in all 4 leagues that we run across all of the shooters. But which do all of the maps lean defense? Do some of them lean offense? What is the general consensus? Are they pretty evenly split? And I mean, there is only 3, but right between the 3, how do they all sort of fare, defense or offensive sided?
Gotcha. In my opinion, Suna is probably the most offensive sided.
Okay.
And then we have Kitty and Miru. Miru, I would say, is pretty even, and then Kitty is very defender sided because both of the bomb site feature a lot of various angles, a lot of cover to catch your opponents off guard, a lot of headshot angles. I personally I deviate from the meta a bit, and I will run either of the AK rifles on Kitty just because you have a longer one-shot headshot distance in exchange for an overall lower time to kill for body shots, but there's so many spots where you could just be peeked by someone and only be able to hit the head. So that's how I would rank the maps in terms of attackers or defenders advantage.
Do you think it differs between region, EU, and NA, or is that pretty consistent across both regions as well?
I would say it's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I'd say you have like quirks between certain teams and how they play that may change those things. I also will always preach that the caliber of the quality of a team is based on how well coordinated they can get their offense more than anything. So these more practiced, more studied teams are definitely, they could easily make a map look offensive sided.
Right.
But overall, I would say like and a larger sample size, you have Suna as being the most offensive sided, Kidi being the most defensive sided, and then Miru in the middle.
Okay, well, we'll see what we get here this afternoon. We are waiting on one more to connect in on the side of, I believe, Sunset Ravens. And I can tell you that certainly wouldn't be how you want to start against Access Denied in this best of 3 today, right, guys? And you're already the underdogs. You don't want to go in 5v4 for the start of your series, which is a real possibility, quite frankly. I think there is time limits and whatnot, so we'll have to see what we get from this Sunset Ravens team. But they do have that full roster. If you do look at both sides, they're both holding on to 8 players across their team. You can only ever have 5 playing at a time, so the subs, something that I always like to see utilized, in particular for reasons like this, but also more so for the regular season. It surprises me that players are not necessarily prepared for the postseason with how much preparation we do put into it. And I won't say anything more because they all are in lobby, and it's only taken them 10 minutes to get going since start time. So no complaints from us on this side, as we do have a full lobby. And it does look like map 1 again ain't gonna be Suna, and I even have our second map, so I know where we're going for map 2 already, guys. And so I spoil it or keep that a surprise?
Ooh, I think you spoil it because we're gonna see it no matter what.
It is going to be Miru.
Miru, okay.
Yeah. Do give me a moment here while I do hop into the lobby, as we should be jumping into our first map here soon. But your thoughts on map 2 on Miru? I might actually have to hold you on those, because yes, indeed, we are ready to go for our first map. We have both teams now in lobby. We don't have to stall anymore, guys. And so I'm going to hold off on your Miru thoughts. We'll get those when we come back. And instead, we'll get ready to dive in to the start of the action here on Suna for our opener. And again, looking forward to this series between these two squads. I do think we're in for an exciting back and forth. And if anything, it's a big moment for Sunset Ravens to sort of redeem themselves. I do need to actually take a quick look at the active rosters here, as I'm not familiar with who is on what team, but we are diving into round 1 now, as Access Denied, I believe, go on the defense and Sunset Ravens on the attack.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Now, Sunset Ravens on the attack. Looks like they're just hitting for a fast A take, just right off the bat, a full commit. They are sending one player to spot the lower tons push, but...
That's a good name. It's an utility coming in as that smoke comes in. That frag doing good damage on the backside, and Semtax scoops up the first kill here as they do push in to site. A good opener here on A, but they are losing the advantage as the entirety of Access Denied has crashed back around to defend, and they're picking them apart on the flank. Another kill coming in, a nice retake from Adam as they fly out, but they're going down big on HP, and now half HP in a 1v4.
Yeah, no, Adam in the 1v4. Well, now nothing else because Yearful cleans up for Access Denied, and it was a very clean round on their side. Sunset Ravens, they seem very decisive. They were immediately just going towards the A site, and then seemed to get held up in the tunnels position, and it allowed Access Denied to just box them in from every angle.
Into round 2 we go, and I have now confirmed I do have the rosters correct. So it is Access Denied on the defense. I was worried there I might not have the teams on the right sides, but Sunset Ravens on the attack. And, again, a good opener. I think they had that early pick for themselves on the outer side there as they almost boxed that nade. Well, it would have been bad news. Don't want any team frags here. But they are seemingly now wary of the flank, as it did hit them pretty hard last round. And if anything, they're playing into it a little bit.
Yeah, no, it seems like they realize how quickly Access Denied are just going to rotate in behind them. Oh, but this player flanking doesn't fully commit. McGuff, did not fully commit to it. He's just waiting for the rotation because his teammates have the information that they made sound at A, and it looks like they're committing. Yeah, no, the scanner player is just standing in the middle of A main. It allows Semtex to get a quick double, and now it's just Snoopy against 5. Now 4. And he probably knows there's someone coming in behind him. Yeah, he seems to hear the footsteps, but he also has 3 players right in front of him, and I don't know what he could have done in that situation.
Yeah, access denied, coming in strong on their opener on defense, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a wake-up call those first 2 rounds for Sunset Ravens, realizing what they're going up against. Not a ton of kills coming in can be tough, too, and so we'll see if they can start to get warmed up going into the rest of these rounds here as we dive into round 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Sunset Ravens are switching it up a little bit. They went for a very fast A these first 2 rounds, both for the pistol and the first gun round. Oh, what a shot out of Adam. A quick little stutter step onto the sandbags.
Nice
Picks off one of their defenders, but then Semtex clears up Mike on the other side of the map, and we have a bit of a one-sided default going towards B. Sunset Ravens keeping control of both B long and mid. The mid players are pushing up Cat. Ooh, but Blab peeks alone. The player with the scanner goes down. Scanner is down and in sight of the defenders, and it's a lot of full rotation out of access denied. And these Cat players for Sunset Ravens not even able to make their way up Cat. They're easily able to get boxed in, and they almost look like they're having to look over their shoulders because they know that access denied has been pushing behind them, and we see that here as Semtex does just that, takes out Snoopy and and just cleans up Adam as well. And oh man,
Yeah.
an excellent showing out of access denied.
As expected, a strong opener. 3-0 could be sprinting towards a quick map 1 victory for access denied, and it's a best of 3, but if this team wins in 2 maps, we do not play that 3rd map out like we have across all of the regular season. But when it's only the series that matters, we don't need to play out that 3rd map. So we could be done in 2 if access denied have anything to say about it. But it is, of course, the defensive half. It's the, it's Sunset Ravens attacking. So when we do swap sides, that could be a big moment for Sunset Ravens. And even now, if they can just get a couple of rounds on the attacking side, it's a good bit of the foot in the door sort of mentality there.
Yeah, no, definitely could get a few rounds in here, and it looks like they're trying to fake B a little bit, and it's because the scanner is all the way over in A, or towards A. Sunset Ravens able to trade. It's a 4-on-4 situation, but the entirety of Access Denied's team is either on mid or B, and the Sunset Ravens players can't know this, but they need to commit to an A hit right now while they have the opportunity to take the map control, but they're still just crab walking.
Yeah,
And it's going to be any moment now. Access Denied is going to realize there's no one here. Yeah, you can see on the minimap, they're clearing B long. They know no one's here. We're definitely about to see a run over to A. But Sunset Ravens are just taking their time. They might be taking their time because they had a player disconnect and want to give them more time to get in here. Adam takes a brief moment to try and clear the backside, starts the scan, and he and Mike D10 have 3 players from Access Denied to defend the retake against as the scanner ticks down.
Semtex scoops up Mike, the nade almost scooping up Adam on the backside. That would have been the 1-2 punch they needed. That frag nicely tossed to slow down the initial advancement in from the duo, and into this 1v3 Adam goes. They're going to swing wide looking for the first kill, and they find it onto Semtex, who's been a kill leader for this Access Denied squad, and quickly scooped up by the likes of Sandy. The first time that the scanner's gone down for Sunset Ravens, and the first time they've nearly brought it down to a 1v1, but Access Denied don't seem to be phased, dancing in celebration off of that victory and getting ready for more rounds as they open things up 4-0.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I had a little bit more hope in that 1v3 for Adam when he got Semtex, because Semtex has been such a huge impact player for Access Denied. You can see he's 9-1, and we're only just starting the 5th round. An excellent performance out of him.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is a solid job on the opener here. And we're going to see McGuff standing up, finds one. And unexpecting Snoopy. Jazz goes down to Earful trying to push in, and this sight push has not worked well for them.
The scanner ran out alone. A main, the player carrying the scanner. It's just down in the front of A main. And the remainder of Sunset Ravens has just been abandoned to get surrounded and try and collect it. And Blab flanks around, gets traded. And oh my goodness. And like I said earlier that sometimes pressure brings the best out of teams, and that could potentially be an edge for Sunset Ravens, but it does not look like that is the case here.
No, and I mean, sometimes you see teams step up to the case, and I think Access Tonight are at least looking very clean and coordinated here on their efforts. They're in sync. They're on their rotations are fast. You know, I think that's one thing you got to watch. And we have to, if anything, take this performance from Access Tonight and compare it to what their opponent's going to be. Compare it to Bomber, who is the opponent of whoever wins this series. They'll be going up against them tomorrow. And so, you know, you talk about stamina, you talk about durability, playing multiple series over the course of the weekend. It's all going to be something that comes into the equation for the winner of today. And Access Tonight certainly barreling towards that win right now, but at least a decent opener for the Sunset Ravens does put them into an even 3-3.
Yeah, no, so far this round is looking pretty competitive. They're able to trade out any picks that happen against them, and Caster's Curse, Yearful, is able to get a free pick on a Mike D10. Yearful, expecting the knife here. And little does he know, the scanner is not too far around the corner. Oh, never mind. He does. Oh, and he's got a little cocky there. And Blab is able to take advantage of his overconfidence. And now we see he and Adam in a 1v2. But both of the Access Denied players are creeping their way up ramp. Taz able to clean up Adam, Blab. 2 players left. Lands a very nice shot onto Sandy. But it's too little too late, as he gets traded out, and that is a 6th round with no answer. 6th round for Access Denied with no answer from Sunset Ravens.
We get closer and closer to the half being done and us swapping sides, and again, maybe that being the ticket for Sunset Ravens. But right now, they seem to be warming up a little bit, if anything. You know, the Ravens finding some good connections. They're finally breaking through the shell of A site, and they're now going to go back to B, where they nearly had success, and they honestly have not pushed since the start of this series. So maybe B will be the ticket for the likes of this Sunset Ravens team.
Oh, what
and
a
nice
grenade!
Opener, a double kill that cracks open B, but there's still a hold from the top side by McGuff. Oh, what a
Oh my goodness! Wow! Oh my goodness! How many was that? I think we saw 4 nade kills. 4 nade kills total in that round. And some of these players just stopping the push without even seeing anyone. Wow.
Yeah, the smoke. I mean, really not seeing anyone. In the smoke, the nade coming out of it, the double kill there. A site does not go the way of Sunset Ravens, but they're trying it again. And I just like to see this dedication from the Ravens. They know their opponent. They know they're the underdogs. They're coming in focused. They're trying to coordinate as a team to the best of their ability, and they're just being challenged every which way, whether it's at B site, where they're getting hit hard by the coordination on the rotations on the defense, or whether it's A side, whether it's B side, where the nades are coming in and disrupting their advance. There's a lot of hard barriers for Sunset Ravens right now, and like I said, maybe just one offensive point could mean everything for this team, but they are potentially not going to be securing that here as we do get into the last round of the half.
Yeah.
They are rotating, though.
Yeah, but honestly, speaking of barriers, they baited out a rotation out of Access Denied very well. In fact, it looks like they might be able to get the scanner here for free. Oh, but Access Denied pushing up the ramp. Snoopy barely catches a glimpse of one of their players as they get up to the triple barrel position. Oh, but they just absolutely run over the A site. Sunset Ravens trying to make it so that they can get to the site while having to take as few gunfights as possible. But Access Denied just runs straight back. Utilizing those fast rotations just clears all of them out.
Back into it we go, round 9. We do swap sides, and we go into a pistol set, but it's the decider. As Access Denied are advancing in, crashing in, utility coming out over the top. They've been hitting their frags, and look at the smoke wall that's really expertly deployed, denying vision. The nades coming out over the top onto Snoopy, and everyone here barreling through the smokes. Out they come. Sandy finds one. A site completely in control by Access Denied, and they're up 5v3. No, there's a nice little scoop up from Jays, but still advantage into the hands. Only a slightly 3v1, I suppose, for Access Denied.
Yep, and here we see Mike D10 with his trying to put his team on his back here. Access Denied looking like they're about to clear out Suna without conceding a single round. And he's got some big impact players to play against. Oh, but Yearful just runs out with the double pistol. And that is the map for access denied.
Well, that's one way to lock in your victory. Your opener, a clean and undefeated 9-0 victory as the entirety of the squad dances in celebration for a solid win. And, I mean, you got Suna, but only for like 20 minutes. You know, it's all you get. You just get Suna in small doses, guys, and that's all you're able to be.
I need my Suna fix. I need more. Second map is Suna. I'm DMing the team captains right now.
No, I know where map 2 is going. It's headed to Miru, and I'll give the start. Oh, they don't even need me. They don't need me. They don't need me for the go-ahead as we do get into it for round number 2 here. Headed on to Miru. Your thoughts on this series? Does Sunset Raven have a hope, or is momentum train in full effect? I think, personally, the momentum train is in full swing for the likes of the Access Denied squad here. And whether it's the match history where they've been dominant against this team, or it's the just experience under pressure, I'm not quite sure, but either way, we are diving into our second map here on Miru, and we've got, let's see, I believe it's Sunset Ravens on the defense and Access Denied on the attack. Do I have that right? I do.
Yeah. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yep, that is correct. Sorry.
No, I was
I had to
thinking
think about it for a second. And it looks like the entirety of both teams are converging on the B site. We have two Sunset Ravens characters playing against the wall tucked up, but they get cleared out immediately. It leaves Adam and Snoopy and make it just Adam and a 1v4. Getting surrounded, is able to get the pick onto Sandy. And then 1v3, trying to, that box, you can shoot through it. Trying to get the pick onto Taz, but Taz overwhelms him. And that is the first round before the scanner even goes down for Access Denied.
A pretty dominant performance from Access Denied so far, and again, I'm already looking to the future because I think if they take map 2, well, I know if they take map 2, they'll be our victor. They'll advance on to play tomorrow in another best of 3 against Bombers, who did give Sunset Ravens an equally hard time. So I do think, if anything, tomorrow's matchup in that best of 3 could end up being quite interesting as we get into that first, second, third, and fourth place ranked team on the regular season ladder. That's going to be an exciting matchup tomorrow, and then obviously the following weekend. But more NA action later today as well. If you're not aware, be sure to jump into that. And for now, we have a B-site control 4v4. 3v4. 3v3 advantage briefly into the hands of Sunset Ravens. As utility and nades come down, the scanner goes down in a nice rotation on the backside from Blabo and Jeze. There's the 1v2, though, as Taz fends things off.
But not for too long as Mike gets into the back. And, hey, we see a round for Sunset Ravens. They're getting the deactivation in. They got plenty of time for that. And they're on the board. And yes, while you said the winner of this match is going to get to play against Bombers, we did see them play against Sunset Ravens, and Sunset Ravens were able to get just a few rounds against them. So it could be pointing that if Access Denied moves on, it could be a competitive match against them.
Well, hey, we're not done yet. Sunset Ravens finally waking up, getting their first point on the board of the day, and maybe they can start to snowball things a bit on their defensive half here on Miru as we do dive into round 3, and utility coming in. A nice bit of smoke to deny vision on that back side, and maybe, if anything, give away a little bit of information to this defense on Sunset Ravens. The half as A site is where the action is
look
unfolding.
At the tunnels rush. Yeah, I know so many players rushing out of the tunnels. And Sunset Ravens actually able to put up a solid hold here. Oh, they had the man advantage, but the trades come in, and it's a 1v2 for Blab. He could put his team in the lead for the first time this series. Scanner is down, and the site is under the full control of Access Denied. Blab still taking his time, clearing everything he needs to. He does have the bunker position, but it might be too little too late, and Oh, he's going to take the time to wrap all the way through their spawn. He has got to move here because the scanner's taken down. It works out in his favor, though, because McGuff isn't even expecting it, and that puts him in a 1v1 against Taz. Taz, having huge impact for access denied so far, is hiding behind the forklift, but he gives away his position. Oh, he doesn't need to play the time. He just out-aims Blab with a nice headshot and denies Sunset Ravens the lead.
Almost their first lead of the afternoon, but quickly taken away. And Sunset Ravens are fighting much better here on Miru this afternoon than they were on Suna. Having a much better performance, keeping things tighter, finding early kills, and I think those kills mean a lot in terms of that momentum, in terms of slowing down this access denied team, because for a moment there they really were sprinting away with things with a solid Suna performance. McGuff, however, will crack things off, and Jazz with a quick refrag puts it into a 4-4.
Yeah, make it a 4-3 in the favor of access denied. Semtex, a crazy clear through alley. Oh my gosh, and his teammates clean up Adam, and wow, what a fast round. There were 2 competitive rounds between these teams that could have gone either way, and access denied said no more of that. And they just want to assert their dominance over over Sunset here. They want to close this out. Oh, but take a look at the angle Semtex is taking. He's just holding the mid position as his teammate pushes up. Oh, but it looks like he's going to go join his teammates who are taking the B site. The scanner, again, going out alone on B long. Some map control's getting taken, but look at this rotation from Sunset Ravens. It looks like they're taking notes from access denied Suna, and it's working out for them as they're able to take the 5-3 man advantage. And oh my gosh, they have a 1 player in spawn. I don't think he knows. He's about to run into the mid player for access denied. Semtex, the last one. 4 players against him. Had huge impact last map. Is he able to get... Oh, what a shot out of him. But he and Mike D10 trade, and that secures the round for Sunset Ravens.
Another point on the board. They're fighting back and forth here on Miru today, and yeah, the Ravens much more in control here. It almost feels like Suna, they maybe didn't have the sort of map expertise. You know, they didn't have enough playtime on it maybe, whereas Miru, they seem a bit more comfortable, a bit more understanding, to your point, of those flanks, and have maybe they are adapting from the strategies used against them. Who knows? But either way, that was a much better and more aggressive defensive round coming in there from Sunset Ravens. The aggression against aggression seems to be working well. And speaking of aggression, we're getting a hard push here into B with plenty of smokes up, a battle up through the midfield that's unfolding here, and some good nades from Adam over the top, denying the B side push.
Yeah, no, they did a great job denying the site. Ooh, Yearful wraps on the backside, clears out Adam. It's Blab in a 1v2. Goodness, these rounds are looking so close until they're not. Yeah. But yeah, no, and here's Blab coming on the backside. He earlier was able to catch a player out by wrapping on the backside. Can he do it again? He can. An excellent adjustment out of him onto McGuff. But now Yearful, hiding by long, knows exactly where it's going to come from, forcing the 1v1 when the scanner has so much time, but it doesn't matter. Yearful. Oh my goodness, that is... Honestly, that's such a crushing 1v1 to lose. I think access denied. No, they're not just trying to win the rounds, they're trying to win the mental game as well.
Well, I don't think they're intentionally taking it down to 1v1s. But yeah, they are certainly doing a good job of clutching those 1v1s, and I think that separates some of the top teams from the bottom. Quite frankly, it's what can differentiate you from top 4 to 4 to 8. You know, it's the little things that end up being big at the end of the day. And the utility use is definitely one of them. We're seeing good utility on both sides. Speaking of, a nice frag toss. It's going to go a touch too far across Sandy. McGuff is going to find Jazzy up through the center, and they do lose a bit of control over this site here as everyone's focused in. All the utility coming in. There's a flash that flies over. Year finds one, and on-site defense getting picked apart by the fully focused access denied squad.
Yeah, no, and Mike went around the world in 80 days. He was on this flank all the way through the 8 tons, all the way through the enemy spawn, and I think this flank is just too little too late. It's a 1v3. It's been so long. He could be anywhere. But Semtex was unaware. Ooh, that nade could potentially deal some damage, but I think McGuff was just tucked in a little bit too deep. Mike does land a nice shot and get the trade, but it's just not enough as Access Denied puts it up 5-2 as we head into the last round of the half.
Fun to see Sunset Ravens waking up a little bit here on their defensive half, and as we swap sides after this round, I'm curious to see what they'll do on the attacking set, but a moment to at least close the gap a little more here while they have the defense under their foot. They could go 5-3, and I think that'd be a nice way to move into the back half of this set, back half of map 2, the map that could decide the series. And oh, there's a good aggressive opener. As Lab flies down, scoops up one, can't get the second with the frag, and Earfuel, excuse me, able to find those kills, takes it into a 3-3 just like that.
Yeah, no, Sunset Ravens able to get a couple of good entries, and Access Denied trades them right back. But with how fast Access Denied has, or excuse me, Sunset Ravens have been rotating this half, Access Denied are just sprinting their way to the other side of the map. But it seems that Sunset Ravens are picking up on this, and they have 2 players on their way to the back of the site already, and they're about to run into one another. Scanner is out. Access Denied are on the site. Adam able to deny one. Oh, gets a second. That 2-for-1 trade in the... Oh my goodness, it's Snoopy left in the 1v1. Scanner is down. And Snoopy just has to clear out one player, but the thing is, the angle he came from, Earfuel could have backed off to anywhere, so he's got to tap the scanner and also clear out a bunch of angles. No! Oh! Oh my goodness. What a 1v1 for Sunset Ravens.
Snoopy clutching, and finally Sunset Ravens clutching up those 1v1 moments and getting another point on the board. The half going pretty decent for them as they do triage a big wound. 0-9 on map 1 hurts. You know, that is not easy to come back from mentally. And to now be fighting here 3-5 going onto your offensive half on Miru, I don't know if it's enough, but we're about to find out as we get into the back half of map 2.
Yeah, no, only time will tell if they've done their homework, if they can pull off a coordinated offense here, because a 2-round difference between teams is not a lot. That is easily overcomable, especially if they are able to pick up this pistol round.
Would be a nice opener for them. There's a swing out, the early fight over at a site, and goes the way of Jazz. A quick refrag from Semtex, though, as they're there to support their teammate, and that's what you get when you're at the top tier. You get that level of support, that back and forth typically is what happens here. As Earfield pushes out, Taz finds Mike, who was a bit overextended there, out of cover. The entire team stacked up here for a year, and they pick up a triple no, shut down by Adam, who's fending for their life now in a 1v3.
Yeah, no, Adam, Scanner on the ground right behind him, but his opponents know it. They're throwing their utility at him. They know they have him boxed in. All they have to do is just delay him, make sure he doesn't get the scanner down, and if he goes for it, honestly, they can just clear him off the site. But the way you lose these is that you continuously take 1v1s just like that and allow your opponent to recollect the scanner. And it looks like Adam is going to run through the colonist spawn, potentially rotate all the way over to... Oh, wait. No, he's faking him out. But it worked out because Semtex, a high-impact player for Access Denied, has run all the way to the other site. As Adam, he has like 5 HP in a dream, 20 seconds left, is creeping out onto the B site. And there's only one player left for Access Denied there. 10 seconds left. Is Taz able to deny this? He is.
I think he is, yeah.
Oh, an excellent effort, though, out of the players on Sunset Ravens.
Yeah, I missed the action over there, but I was taking a look at chat, and I realized we had some audio levels there that could have been adjusted. But, I think everyone enjoying the action nonetheless. And we do go into round 10. 6-3. Only 3 more rounds to go for Access Denied as Sunset Ravens. I think we're having some robot issues on your side as well. Try and adjust those quick for us. That would be great. We do apologize for everyone at home for those audio problems there. That's not your headset. That's coming in through our side as Jazz does fly in. Semtex picks up another and a nice opener here at B. Frags over the top and absolute chaos unfolding as Sunset Ravens step up the pace just a touch here on their offensive round and do get themselves into a 3-3.
Yeah, no, and then we have the 2v3 retake for access denied. Taz able to get that first pick on the mic. It's a 2v2. A minute left on the clock. Oh! Oh my goodness, and the double out of Taz. What a play to put access denied 2 rounds away from winning the series.
Still hearing a little bit of it. But anyway, it's okay. I know. We're sorry for the live troubleshooting, folks. But regardless, a solid opener here. And 7-3 now for access denied. 2 points away from taking this map, taking the series, and advancing on to go up against the Bombers tomorrow, who have already won their single elimination match in this losers bracket and did pretty good in their opening series last weekend as well. So I do anticipate that if we do see access denied advancing in off of this map, that there'll be a really good back and forth in best of 3 tomorrow, which will start at the same time this has started, as we do get again an advantage into the hands of access denied 4v2, shutting down this A site push again, and it leaves Adam and Blab alone.
Yeah, no, they have a tall order on their hands. 69 seconds left in the round. Adam, about half HP. Oh, trying to get some spam damage on someone crossing through. He knows someone could be pushed up close, but they're not able to connect immediately. Oh, the timing with the swing out of Semtex. That couldn't have been better. Oh my god. And then Blab is 1 shot away from death. He could trip on his way to the artifact site here and just drop dead with a 1v4. But the thing is, there are no access denied players on the site. There are some nearby. I don't know if anyone's going to notice him crossing, but he's not prioritizing the site. He's going for gunfights with 30 seconds left, and Taz cleans him up, and access denied are on match point.
Match point looking good. 8-3 here in map 2. And if you are just tuning in, well, you've only got really maybe one more round to watch, as this afternoon already access denied have won 9-0 on map 1 on Suna and are looking at a series win here. If they can lock in this defensive hold, everything comes down on the Sunset Ravens in the next, well, foreseeable few rounds for them, quite frankly. But it is do or die for them. Their season on the line if they can't make it through here. And already a rough opening as Megup is here and doesn't turn around behind them. They'll get picked up by Blab, which is a nice refrag. Keeps things relatively close, 2v4. But they're getting vulnerable to the retake. Semtex is here, collapsing around the final defender, Adam, in a 1v3.
Yeah, Adam, his team's playoff aspirations on his back, holding the pixel angle. Ooh, but I think he got spotted out there by Sandy. Sandy playing discipline, not giving him the 1v1. Just watching, waiting for Adam to push, because it all comes down to Adam having to take control of the site. Oh my goodness.
Whoa!
Adam, wow, with the mind read. Oh, but Semtex has a huge impact for his team and pushes them over the finish line in this last round. And we're going to see them tomorrow against Bombers, correct?
Indeed we will. Access denied, locking in a 2-map victory, dancing in celebration together as they do confirm themselves an advancement onto tomorrow's best of 3 against Bombers, which will be, I think, a pretty exciting back and forth there. And a quick shout out to everyone tuning in and hanging out here this afternoon, everyone that stopped by and enjoyed the action. We do appreciate you all for hanging out with us today. And a big shout out to our sponsors, obviously the developers of the game, VAIL, Axe Labs, coming in and supporting the VRML in Season 1, contributing into that cash prize pool, which is $2,000 for first place in the EU region. That's what Access Denied is fighting for. They're trying to work through the losers bracket for a chance at that first or second place cash prize pool. There's a lot on the line at the end of the day, and it's exciting to see teams step up to the challenge, guys. And I mean, that's why we're here for the postseason. It's to see how these top 8 teams are going to fare against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. It's to see who like really steps up to the challenge, who stays composed under pressure when we have cash prizes on the line. I think that it's just going to get better as we go deeper into the bracket and get closer to the grand finals.
Yep, and to fill people in, we are not playing a third map. This is a best-of-3 series, and we don't need the third map to decide who advances on. And so it will not be played. There is no reason, and this is it. EU is done for the afternoon. We do have a lot more VAIL coming up later today at 2:30 p.m. PST. We'll be diving into the North American region where we watch the top 8 teams battle out in a round-robin series. 6 maps to be played out across 3 different games. I mean, it's going to be a lot of matches happening at the same time. And it's going to be, I think, a pretty dang exciting back and forth between today and tomorrow for both Group A and Group B in that round-robin. So you're not going to want to miss it. It starts at 2:30 p.m. with the pre-show. We have exclusive interviews for 3 of the teams that are playing today, so you're going to want to catch those, get a little insight into how these squads operate, who the players are, how they feel about the series, all of that. And a big shout out to Chumbait for doing those interviews. You'll be seeing his face on them as well, but do be sure to tune in for that pre-show if you want to catch those exclusive interviews. You'll be able to watch them later as we release them later in the week, next week. But if you want to watch them in the exclusive drop, be sure to tune in at 2:30 p.m. PST for the Onward pre-show. Maybe even a little earlier, we might start the interviews. So, again, be sure that you're following and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. But again, another quick shout out to our sponsors. We already started with Axe Labs, but we also do have HyperX coming in and supporting the VRML. For at the very least, the North American region, we really do appreciate their support. They also support the casting team. You're hearing my voice on a HyperX Quadcast S right now, and so a big shout out to them. I don't believe that Gaijin has HyperX products, so the issues you're hearing on his side are not HyperX. I can assure you of that. but regardless,
it's true.
We do
Don't be like me, folks.
We do appreciate you all stopping in, tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action today. It's going to be it for us here on the desk. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Gaijin. Until just a few hours from now at 2:30 p.m. PST, stay classy. VAIL VRML is brought to you by XLab, Exclaim, Helga, the esports manager, HyperX, ProTube VR, VR Cover. Thanks for watching VRML.